Hi, this is Mason, and you're watching the 315 with Brian Higgins. Now it's time to start the post-game show. Here's Brian.
Oh my God. Just a disaster. Epic disaster for the Orange in Boston today. You can't lose that game. You cannot lose that game. I suppose you can. They did lose the game. You can't lose that game. Syracuse just a terrible loss for Syracuse today at Boston College. Boston College is terrible, and Syracuse went there, had the game in hand multiple times, and ended up giving up a three to send it to overtime. That was with about 8 seconds left, running complete nonsense for the remainder of regulation, not having a timeout because you inexplicably blew a challenge, and then just playing like crap at overtime. 81-73, just a disastrous loss, an absolute disastrous loss for Syracuse. And, regardless of how the rest of the season goes, it's hard to envision it now when you have this loss on your resume, when you have the Hofstra loss on your resume. Syracuse would have to do some unimaginably good things going forward to, make the tournament and realistically saves Red's job. Looking back, like he's not getting fired during the season, all that stuff, realistically today may have just been the end of the line. For this era, we shall see in a couple of months or less. But a loss today that you just cannot have if you are Syracuse basketball and in position. Yeah, guys, this was a home game. This was a sold-out Boston College basketball game. It doesn't sell out basketball games. Boston College. They don't sell out basketball games. Why is it sold out? Because it's all Syracuse fans. Syracuse, you just shouldn't lose to this team. Certainly this year in that place, and you go in there and you have the game in hand several times, and just the turnovers. You have 18 turnovers in the game. Your starting point guard had 2 assists and 7 turnovers. Your starting point guard had 2 assists and 7 turnovers, and the turnovers were just like Nate George was involved in a play at the end of regulation where, good, bad, and otherwise, there was 3 turnovers in 2 seconds. I mean, Donnie had 7 turnovers today. Donnie was really forcing it down the stretch today. Nate Kings was good, but it's just Boston College is terrible. Boston College is absolutely terrible, and Syracuse goes in there and loses the game. You cannot lose that game. You cannot lose that game. It's one of these things where if you had scraped by and somehow figured out the win, again, you got it. You're up 10. It's okay. You're up 6. You're up 7, and it goes away. You got to figure out a way to win that game. You have to figure out a way to win that game, and they don't. All right. Link pinned, as always, top of the chat. If you'd like to join the show today, I'm sure you're all in a great mood after that one. Overtime loss at Boston College. Just absolutely inexplicable. You can't lose that game. You cannot lose that game if you're Syracuse. We go back to the Georgia Tech win and the Pitt win. Both wins, by the way, and both double-figure wins, and how we're kind of frustrated with the way they played down the stretch, and, the lead went away and whatever. Those were double-digit road wins in the league, and, any road win in the league's a good win. And I can get behind that. I'm the one that said it. You can't lose on the road at Boston College, who in my mind entering today was the worst team in the league. The worst team in the league. We firing Josh Allen? The football game has started. It's sunny as always in Denver. Denver, the Sunshine State. We'll keep a half an eye on that. It's just you can't lose that game. I'll link pin top of the chat. Let's start taking calls. Let's just let it fly here today. Well, we'll see if we get a Red press conference before we're done. As we know, for road games, we don't generally have them available live, but we'll do our best to get you a little Red before the end of this game. And, just an absolute disastrous loss for Syracuse today, which completely just ruined the trajectory here of the last couple weeks. Gavendo, what's up, man? Just fantastic. Fantastic day for the Orange. Why am I not hearing Gavendo? What's going on here? Did I not? Are you muted, Gavendo? What's going on? What am I doing here? I don't know why I'm not hearing Gavendo. Try dropping and reconnecting, Gavendo. I don't know what's going on here. I don't hear you. Gavendo, that's the kind of day we're having. We can't even get Gavendo on the freaking air. Oh, man. Oh, my goodness. Why can't they fix Kyle's free throw for him? I mean, I'm not really thinking that's going to get fixed anytime soon here. All right, let's see. What's going on here? Let's get. Oh, that's weird. Let's do this. Let's try. Hang on. Now there's Gavendo. Let's unmute him. All right. Do we hear Gavendo now? We don't. What is going on here? Why don't we hear Gavendo? We are trying to complain about this game, and I can't even hear the guy that is trying to complain about it. This is ridiculous. I sense your anger, Gavendo. I don't know what's going on here. All right. Just, I see you walking around. It looks great. I don't know. Why can't I hear Gavendo? I'm just going to blame him because he can't defend himself because he can't talk. So we're going to blame him on that. I don't know. If you want to try again, we can wing it again here, but I don't know what's going on. I blame Gavendo. I blame him 100% for whatever's going on here. So, link pinned top of the chat. It probably works. This, not level 5. This is a level 1 post-game show right now. Just disastrous. You lose to BC and it all goes to hell. This is what happens. Fire Red for screwing up our post-game show. There we are. Oh, my God. Yeah, we can only hear Gavendo when he's in the dark. Will there be a Red post-game? Not live. Tronic, we'll see if we get it before the end of the show. They've been getting it uploaded reasonably quickly after the last few road games. yeah. I don't know. I don't know if that's going to happen today. We'll see. Is BC streaming a post-game presser anywhere? I don't know. But if anybody else would like to call in, then we can see if we can make it work. Yeah, Gavendo. Yeah, why does Gavendo not have signs? He can hold up signs and let us know what he's going. Level 6, 7. That's enough of a UKC fan. You get out. You get out. You can stay. Oh my god. Yeah, exactly, Joe Filippelli. Like for the first time all season, they finally acknowledged that maybe Syracuse was in a position to do something, and this happens. Just absolute disaster. I'll see you later, Super Cat. You can hang around. We'll talk about something. It's just, how do you lose that game? 18 turnovers. BC only has 8. Your starting point guard, like what was Nate George doing today? Your starting point guard, who had 24 assists in the last 2 games, goes 2 assists and 7 turnovers? Like, what? Yeah, I don't know. The full line changes. I'm never a big fan of the full line change, Howard Black, unless you are like really specifically a 40 minutes of hell kind of team. I am big on, having rotations where it's like, all right, we're getting this group together, and now we're moving to this, and this guy's sitting, so now we can focus over here. You're watching the Broncos. Okay. I think a lot of people here are probably called the Bills game, and that's all right. My Giants got John Harbaugh, so that's saved the day, maybe. I mean, it's crazy, Joe. Like, some of the stuff, like some of the alley-oop passes are like, what is going on? I don't blame him for the foot out of bounds one, but out of that whole sequence, turns the ball over, steals it back, steps out of bounds. You're the starting point guard. Like, none of the 3 turnovers should have happened. Syracuse should be able to have a point guard who can dribble the ball up the freaking court in the last minute of a close game. It's just like, what's going on? Like, that, it's literally your job to bring the ball up the court. Like, what are you doing? Like, you just let the guy take it from you? Oh, man. Yeah, Tyler Betsy had a nothing game today, 0 points in 16 minutes. It was good to see Nate Kings have a really nice game. He was fantastic. But then look at late. So I think we talked about that in the last few post games. Like, all right, what is? Are you sure Nate George wasn't in the betting scandal? Oh man, Like, we talked about this in the last few post games. Like, all right, what's going to happen when they start double teaming Donnie? And what did we see today? Everyone else stands around, and then Donnie just kind of flailed his way through a double team and was hoping to get bailed out with a foul. And it's just, I don't get it. I don't get it at all. Just absolutely bad. You can't lose this game. You cannot lose this game if you are Syracuse. You can't. They can. They did. We saw that. But you can't. And like all season long, we've been trying to, and this is not about saving Red's job or whatever. This is about Syracuse basketball making it back to the NCAA tournament. Because we want to watch Syracuse basketball play NCAA tournament games. Because for us, that's what makes March good, right? To watch Syracuse play in the tournament is the thing we like to do in March. So all year long, it's looking at the schedule and trying to chart a path to March. And losing this game today, I don't know how to chart that path anymore. You can't lose games like this and make the tournament unless you're going to do things like beat Duke. And does anyone really think this team is beating Duke? Like, unless you're going to go to the Yum Center and beat Louisville. Do you think Syracuse is going to the Yum Center and beating Louisville? It's really hard to think that these things are going to happen. Because why would we think that's going to happen when there's no good reason to think that right now, all things considered, after what we've watched. All right, we're going to give Gavendo has wandered about. He's circled back. He's refreshed himself. We're going to try this again, Maddie. Do we hear Gavendo? Why?
Can you hear me?
There you are. Hey, something's working. There. What's up, man? All right, we did it.
Sorry about that. I would have felt like a complete jerk having you try this 3 times for 30 minutes on your hour show. So
I mean, I was just going to blame Red Gavendo. So.
What in the bloody fuck did I just watch?
I mean, I don't know. It was
Bro,
terrible.
We're up 8 in the first half. Donnie gets to the basket 5 times in a row. What happens next?
Yeah.
He sat on the bench.
Yep.
Nate King's coming into his own in the second half. Scores 20 points. What happens next?
Kings went out of the game with what? He sat down with like 5 minutes left. That didn't make a whole lot of. Like, I get in the first half, you got to get guys in the second. In 5 minutes left, like, I don't know why Kings came out at all there down the stretch. It didn't make any sense.
Can we walk through the challenge real quick? That blew our timeout. And then we couldn't challenge the next play that could have been ours because it looked like it went off the other team.
Right. And that's one where, like,
someone's telling Red to look.
Right.
Someone's telling Red to look. Challenge.
Yeah. For those that don't understand how this is,
like,
yeah, both teams have somebody sitting back there with an iPad or something that their whole job is to be on the replay as fast as they can if there is to be a challenge. And I just don't, like, there's no way you could have actually watched that and then challenged because it was so clear and obvious. And then the play was bizarre to begin with, right? Gavendo, like, they let it go for a while before they eventually, did correctly, but, like, they let it go before they eventually called him out of bounds. So in theory, you had some even more time to be able to deal with that and not get the challenge wrong. And then, yeah, it takes away a key timeout. And then you get down to the end of the game, and this is where a lot of the problem is. And, is it Red? Is it the players? What's the combination, right? Like, all right, BC hits that 3 to tie the game. There was 7 seconds left, and Nate George.
They should have fouled.
Well, they should have fouled. It's right on the border of can you foul?
There was 3 guys covering the shooter.
Yeah.
One of them in front of him is William Kyle. He didn't even jump.
No.
I don't even think he stuck his hand up.
No, he was sinking back a little bit, and that's one where, okay, if there was, because that possession started with about, 17, 18 seconds left? And it's one where BC had gotten into it quickly and maybe they were going to go for 2. Now you're already almost 10 seconds into it. They were out of options. You knew they had to go for 3, so guard the 3. Who cares if the guy gets past you for a 2? But Kyle's still guarding that. Nobody gets up in his face. He's their best player. Like, where'd you think the ball was going? And then after that, you don't have a timeout, but you have 7 seconds. You can let the ball go. Like, we know Boeheim was always one to, like, kind of let it go if he thought his guys were in a position to let it go, but you didn't have any plan, and Nate George just dribbled into 2 guys, and then it's overtime. Like, what are we even doing? Doesn't make sense.
These are the little decisions that get made, whether you're not the coach, right? So the coach, this is the coaching issue, whether you're not getting good assistant coaching feedback or you're not making the right calls yourself. Like, this is an issue. This is a huge issue, and it's costing us games at BC when they're 0-3, 0-4, and like, they're on the broadcast saying Joe Lenardi's got them.
They were on the bubble of the bubble of the bubble of the bubble going.
That's not happening anymore. No. I don't want to hear any of that freaking talk for a while.
They'd have to go. I mean, they'd have to go on some kind of crazy. Like, they'd have to win some legitimate major games going forward to even remotely consider having that conversation again.
This is embarrassing, and it's disgusting. And thanks for letting me on, though. I appreciate you.
Yeah, we did that. Good luck to your Bills. I see you got the Bills sweatshirt on there. So.
I'm actually a Bears fan, so today I'm wearing the Bills. Okay. Tomorrow I'm going to wear the Bears.
Well, then good luck to wherever you got that sweatshirt. So that
I want to see a Bears-Bills Super Bowl. So that's what I'm rooting for.
Okay, it's a nice swytshirt. I do like it. So there's that. What are we? We were 3-0 Broncos halfway through the first quarter right now. Got half an eye.
Go Cuse
on that.
Still, after all the bullshit.
Always. All right, thanks, Gavino. There he is. We got him on the air. It's just that this team does not have a great basketball sense about them. They just don't have a great basketball sense about them. Like, I know there's a lot of fast-moving parts at the end of the game, but this is, the players on the court. I mean, I get that it's their first year together, but this is a fairly veteran team that you look at Kyle and Kings and JJ and George and all the players that were on the court, and Donnie's really the only exception there at the end of the game. There's a lot of minutes of college basketball on the court at the end of the game, and that's what happened? Like, yeah, guys make shots. All right, the guy made the shot, and yeah, you're out of timeouts, and you know this. But there was time. There was plenty of time to at least get something. And you get nothing. And then, I don't know, like, game goes to overtime. As soon as that dude had the dunk early in overtime, it was over. It was over. Yeah, a lot does run downhill from the head coach. Like, obviously teams that are better coached have a better sense in those just situations at the end of games. But that's bad. That's bad. And yeah, like, are you guaranteed to make a shot then? No, but you gotta get a shot. You gotta get a shot. Yeah, that's the thing. And that's where Red's in a really tough spot, LA Orange. Like, the players technically screwed up the end, right? Like, they had chances there at the end, and we don't know what they're being told in timeouts or how close they're coming to executing what they've been asked to do or anything like that. But it's just a mess. Like, is it the players or the coaches that for multiple possessions in a row they're late? Donnie gets the ball, Donnie gets double teamed, and then nothing happens around him, and then he forces it and something bad happens. It's just, yeah. And then Nate George is just doing like what? Like, the alley-oops that work are cool and all, and George and Sadiq White and some of these guys, Kyle and Sadiq can jump out of the gym and go get it, but not everything needs to be the attempt for that, does it? It's just bad. Link pin top of the chat if you would like to complain about this game. That is the place to go. And then, overtime at PC, so you keep us around extra long to complain about it tonight. Just, you can't You can't, if you're Syracuse, lose that game. And that's one of those things where, like, where's the urgency? Where's the urgency? And it just didn't feel urgent, and then it slips and slides away. Like, okay, the game was probably lost, but the last minute of overtime, last 30 seconds of overtime, miss a shot, whatever, BC gets the ball, it's taken 5, 6, 7 seconds to foul. Like, you're not, realistically, it's going to take a miracle at that point. This is not about winning or losing at that point. But if you have any chance of getting back in the game, you have to do things now and quickly. Where is the urgency? Yeah, and what a point, fella. For the next game is a Wednesday night at 9 o'clock against Virginia Tech. And Virginia Tech's a solid team, but like they're not a team that brings out a crowd. The next game is 9 o'clock on a Wednesday night against Virginia Tech. So you're backing up this with a 9 o'clock home game? Yeah. The Dome is going to be like, there will be tumbleweeds. There will be tumbleweeds in the Dome. Oh, man. It's bad. It's bad. You know, here, I'll just because it's on the screen right now, simplysweetsisters.myshopify.com. They're starting, go check it out. I just, I put it in my story on the gram, Brian Higgins 315. So that this can maybe put us in a new mood. The sisters are working on on some new candle scents. And we know we all like the candles, and maybe perhaps they can be calming in this time of angst and yelling. So right now, there are a couple. There's a 315 collection that is local and citrusy. There's going to be a warm citrus woods scent, a coastal citrus scent, and currently on all there are social medias, they're having a poll and whatnot to name the third scent that is going to be a bright blood orange blended with smooth vanilla scent. How about that? It's sweet, energizing, bold, and cozy. All things that today's basketball game were not. That game was not sweet. It did energize me, I suppose. It was not bold, and it was not cozy. It was absolutely not cozy. So go check that out. If you're looking to find it, I posted it on the story that should have gone to my Instagram and Facebook. And then you can follow that down and vote for a new candle scent that perhaps will calm us and center us in this time of great angst during the mid-January part of Syracuse basketball. It's just, let's there, GMAC. GMAC's doing well. Let's, we can go down that road here. Jerry won today. I believe Siena won today. What's Siena basketball doing? Siena basketball. It's one of these things. Yeah, Siena blew out Manhattan today. The Saints are 12-7. I guess they're doing all right. What's their record in the MAC? What's Siena up to? But this is one. All right. So Siena's 12-7. They're 5-3 in the league. They just beat Manhattan today. They had a 3-game losing streak that they've bounced back from here recently. Like, I'm sure Jerry still wants this job, right? Like, why wouldn't he? Like, say Siena goes on a run and makes the NCAA tournament, because, you know, that MAC tournament's always a crapshoot. Like, say Siena somehow makes the tournament. And then it's, like, could Jerry find a way to work himself into this job, but are you really going to keep it in the family again? Like, I love Jerry, but that's a really tough hire. A really tough hire to make. Like, I love Jerry, but at this point, like, and I don't know, like, you all have your answers. Yeah, we did not need additional angst, San Diego Qs. More angst was not needed. What's the Harbaugh family, of which I'm greatly in tune to right now, because the Giants, and I think it's finally official, have hired John, that both him and Jim, I think it comes from their dad, Jack, always are saying, who's got it better than us? Nobody. Syracuse basketball's going the opposite. Which one's Josh Schertz? Who's he coaching? Is that the dude that was at like Northern Iowa or something? Josh Schertz. Which one's he? He's Northern Iowa to St. Louis. Am I thinking of the right guy? Or was it Northern Iowa? Indiana State. Oh, he's the Indiana State. That guy. Yeah. I mean, he's a really good coach. I mean, yeah, he's won a lot of games. What are they? They're 14-1 right now. Go Billikens. Former spot where Rick Majerus was playing his trade. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, sure, a guy like that. I just you got to really do a search, and I'm not rooting for a guy to get fired, but realistically, Red's not keeping his job unless they make the tournament, and losing today, I don't want to say that makes that impossible, but it makes it really, really, really hard. It makes it really, really, really hard. I'd say, based on where this guy has coached before, he maybe profiles more as a future Big Ten coach, but who knows? Yeah, Connor Stallions. He's all about the wins. Did I get so we bump the camera here? This post-game show is off the rails. Coach Mello. He has a calming presence. Winning attitude. Oh man. Rick Pitino. And we've talked about this before, and this will become more and more like, okay, like what is the chain of command on a hire like this going to look if that's what they're needing to do? There is a lot of basketball left to play, but man, the chain of command, break all of the rules. There aren't any rules anymore. Just do whatever you want. Like the chancellor's out the door to Michigan. Is the board in charge? Is Wildhack in charge? A new chancellor? There's no way a new chancellor's in place by March. The gears of academia grind slow on that stuff. It could turn into just a bleep show of a coaching search if things go wild. It could go just flat out off the rail bonkers. Go back to church, T-Takes. You did not pray enough. This is on you. More prayers. You needed at least 5 more Our Fathers and a few Hail Marys. We're blame T-Takes. We blame T-Takes. Didn't light enough candles. Didn't put enough money in the basket. Yes, T-Takes, they lost in overtime. Yes, they lost. Send Bayheim to a farm upstate. We can send him to a lake. He's got the spot at Skinny Atlas. Oh, man. That's the thing, George, and that's the part here that is what realistically, like, should Red get? All right, like, say the public sentiment hadn't turned against Red as completely as it had. They have to be. I can't imagine how much money that it's cost them with the attendance being down. Now, yeah, this did start at the end of Bayheim, but I cannot imagine how much money this has cost them, because for many, many years, like Syracuse Basketball, when you look at the size of the building and all that, like, they're churning through revenue like nobody in America. Like, they were the reason that the athletic department could operate a little differently than other athletic departments, because they had so much money coming in the door through basketball. If there's only actually 4,000 or 5,000 butts in seats on Wednesday night at 9 o'clock against Virginia freaking Tech, like, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? All right, let's, a link has always been pinned top of the chat if you'd like to join the show. We're going to go to, is this a bag on the head? Yeah, this is, usually Mike's in Connecticut. Today Mike is in denial. Hey, Mike, the candle looks nice.
This may not be the day to name a new flavor for your wife's business. I'm just going to say, you just may not do it today, because I'd call it Sweet Sister Stench Out, because my God, what has Red Autry done with our program, Brian? What has he done with our program?
It's not good. It's not good right now, Mike. It's not good. Like, we haven't done paper bags on head since the Sack Mac pack. It's been a minute, and that at least rhymed. I don't even know how to rhyme a bag on the head with red. Oh, there we are. Red bag on head for Red. There we go.
I mean, that was like a home game. I mean, they averaged like 4,400 people a game. It was a sellout. It was mostly Syracuse, so it was in a tough road game. The Boston College lost to like Southwest Connecticut State. They lost to West Hill High School, I think. I think BC lost to West Hill High School. We walk in there and just clown show it. Just clown show it. Like, there was no level 1 or 2. Like, how does this freaking happen?
Yeah.
How, Brian, I need reasons. How does this happen?
There are no like, you can't lose that game. This is not a game lost on logic. This is not a game lost on anything. You can't lose that game. You just, like, here's the game plan. Just go be freaking better than Boston College because you're superior to them. And you're not. You're up 10. They're up 10 in the first half, and then you're not. You're up 7 or 8 in the second half, and then blink, you're not. And you had, I don't even know. I've lost count of the chances they had to put the game away down the stretch. That's one where, like, all right, say you hang on and win by 3, it's still terrible, but you're like, all right, what? Okay, you played like crap, but you pulled it out at the end. You can't lose it, and then it just essentially totally no-showed the overtime, where you at least had a chance to hit the reset button there, and it goes the other way. Just nothing good happened here. Nothing good.
I mean, the only way to debag it for me at this, that was dangerous. The only way to get from here is, like, looking forward to next year, because assuming Autry's out, and I don't know if that means Ben Klein's out, but is Melo going to step up, like, be a general manager or that? And then who's our team? Hopefully Kyan comes back. He could be the MVP, obviously, next to Liddell, give him the money, but, like, maybe Sadiq White, maybe Kyan, and we're starting completely over again.
Totally
completely over. So we're in dare to dream mode. That's all I got, man.
Yeah, and I'd say the good news, at least in the transfer portal era, is that a complete reset is no longer like okay, this is going to take 4 or 5 years. It can happen quickly. But yeah, if you sit here today, January 17th, I'd say it's much more likely right now there's a complete reset for next year than the opposite. That just seems way more likely today.
And by the way, these candles are really good. They're sensational. But I got to say this, Red Autry burns $5 million better than this candle burns. And that's saying something.
All right.
Anyway,
all right, Mike, don't light your bag on fire by accident. It is still on your head. We've got to say. There's Mike in denial in Connecticut, who did the whole call with the bag on his head. I'd say that's full credit to him doing the whole call with the bag on his head. That extra points for that. So there we go. He needs to breathe in the sweet scents of the candles to resuscitate. You were in a meeting from 2 to 5, V-Dog? Wow. The less you know about what happened in this game, the better. The less you know, the better. Yeah, Syracuse played Boston College in a game of basketball. And then by the end of the game, Boston College had more points. That was that the Fab Melo year, T. Murphy? Or was that the... I don't think... That wasn't Fab Melo. Was that Fab Melo, or was that Ennis? Was that the Ennis year? That was the time that they wore the blue top and the orange shorts, and just never ever seen again. Never ever seen again. Got traded with Michigan. We'll give you Kent, but we're gonna need Dusty May back. And Michigan's like, okay. Yeah, it didn't. And that's one of those things where RPM, I didn't mind it at that point. I'm like, all right, it's time to get the ball to Donnie. But when BC is sending a quick double, then you have to pass it and do something else. Donnie's not going to just beat them all by himself. Like, if it was one-on-one, I've been like, yeah, give it to Donnie and get the hell out of the way. It was not one-on-one. When he's going 1-on-2, and then nobody comes to get the ball, nobody moves, and then Donnie turns, and he's just like, well, I guess I'll go with these two guys. Shockingly, it didn't work well. They did never wear that uniform combination again, Supercat, if there's any solace. Boeheim was a very big on, like, if you broke out a new uniform situation and played bad in it, those things disappeared for eternity. The Bills game. It is 7-3. Buffalo Bills. The Bills scored a touchdown when I was not looking at the screen a few seconds ago, apparently. Well, maybe more than a few seconds ago. The Bills have the lead, 7-3. Go Buffalo. I got no problem with the Bills. As a Giants fan, why would I have a problem with the Bills? They played in the Super Bowl the one time. Worked out well for me. So, yeah, go Bills. I'd like to see the Bills win. I'd like to see... I like Josh Allen. I like Josh Allen. He's fun to watch. He's fantastic to watch, is what he is. Yeah, bowling ball. Nate George was terrible today. Absolutely terrible. The Malachi Nelson was bizarre, San Diego Cuse. Like, what's up with that? I don't even think he's going to be the backup quarterback on the team. The Kennesaw State guy's going to be the backup. He's just going to be hanging out. He's just going to be hanging out. Link pin top of the chat if anybody else would like to join the fun here today. Oh, man, that's, yeah. Because they brought back the script and they look so nice. I mean, they look sweet, fellow Furter, but there's no wins in them now. And that's a problem. That's a problem. You need wins in the sweet looking jerseys. I love script Syracuse stuff. I love script Syracuse stuff. Put every coach, everyone in line. Who's blowing the whistle, Gavendo? Who gets to blow the whistle? Does like Fran show up and then he's like, I went 3-9. He starts running. Who gets to blow the whistle? Who would get to blow the whistle? Maybe Ian McIntyre can get in there with the whistle. I don't even know who to send over there with the whistle to get him do that. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Daria Alexander. The energy was off. They had multiple opportunities to fit because, all right, your big favorites are, I get they were only 5.5-point favorites, but it just felt like, all right, this is an inevitable win. It's a Syracuse home game, even though it's on the road. The whole building's orange. You go in there, you take care of business, and then you move on to the harder part of the schedule. And, all right, you're playing a little funky, but okay, you got the lead. You're playing a little funky. And then you just never latched into it. You never latched into it. Oh, man. No, Harbaugh will save them, Fish Tender. Harbaugh will save them. I'm not a fire the guy in the season guy, T-Takes. I think it's very simple here. For Red, I think it's make the tournament and you more likely than not keep your job. I think it's miss the tournament and you more likely than not don't. It's just going to be extremely hard for them to make the tournament with this loss on your resume. Like, what was BC in the net ranking coming into today? Hang on. Let me, if you don't have a tab on your computer always open with net rankings, then what are you even doing in life? We're going to find Boston College. BC was 182 in the net rankings. 182 in the net rankings. You can't lose that game. You can't lose that game. I don't care if it's on the road. That's the most home, where's Hofstra? It would help if I spell Hofstra right. Hofstra's 92 in the net rankings. You couldn't lose that game at home, but Hofstra's a better basketball team than Boston College. BC's terrible. BC is terrible. Oh man, what's our net now? They don't officially update it till the morning, I don't think, Gavendo. Our net was 63 at entering the day. 63 entering the day. Yeah, there's tons of opportunities left, Supercat. This is not about lacking opportunities. This is about I just don't foresee a way that they're going to win the games. I just don't see a way that they're going to win the games. Oh, man. Down 12 in Kempom. You're see it. Yeah, team, they lost him. Yeah, Jerry's. I love Jerry. I mean, this is not about Jerry the person. I love Jerry. I like Red. This is not about them as the person. This is just about realistically right now. If you were looking at Syracuse, any Syracuse people that could plausibly be the next head coach, I don't know if the list exists. I don't know if the list exists right now. I don't know if the list exists right now. You've got Jason Hart's. Is he on Kentucky staff now? Where did Jason Hart end up? I think he's done I think he's a really good coach and doing a nice job, but realistically, he's not a position to take over a major program. Go a decade back in a different world. Is Mike Hopkins still the Syracuse head coach, or did we find out a few years in that he wasn't going to be the guy? I don't know, but the time has passed on Hop. We're in the post Hop era now. Jerry, if you're going to say, oh, we got it, the choice was Red or Jerry, one was right and one was wrong. Like, Jerry would have to be, like, killing it this year to be ready for that. And they're 12-7. Like, he's doing fine, but he's not killing it. So it's yeah. And then after that, like, where else are you going for anybody with anybody with a Syracuse tie to be coach? Not that it's required. Like, I say, it's nice if there's somebody that's qualified. Like, it's nice if there's somebody that's qualified. But in no way should you force it if people aren't qualified. Like, what was it really cool when you go back, like, and still is the case with Gary Gate, and it was for many years with John Desko. Like, the Syracuse lacrosse coach has been a Syracuse grad for many, many years, but they, for the most part, they won a lot of games. So, like, is that cool? Sure. Like, was it cool when it was Desko and Gary? And, you look at FLJ, that's one of those things. Yeah, it's cool she's an alum, but at the same time, like, okay, yeah, they're having a nice season this year, but it's not necessarily where I would have gone at the time, though I understand how it happened. You look at it, it's great when it works, but it's also not required. Like, look at some of the other sports around Syracuse. Ian McIntyre had nothing to do with Syracuse sports ever in his life before he showed up here. He won a national freaking championship. Like, Chris Fox, who had nothing to do with Syracuse before, took a nothing cross-country program and turned it into a national power. Like, it's possible. You don't have to have done something at Syracuse before to take a team and go do something. Like, Syracuse had never done anything whatsoever in field hockey. Ange Bradley showed up. They won a national championship. Like, these things are possible, and it has nothing to do. Yeah, what about... I do have coaching experience, Supercat. Like, we dominated. We ran the room at the 6-year-old ESM practices this year. Yeah, but you don't need one. You don't need one. Now, like, I'd say tie, in a situation of tie, I'd go with the alum. Like, is it a cooler story, right? Like, if Jerry or Red or, Hop had it come, like, if they're leading their alma mater and whatever and they're doing great, yeah, it's a great story. It's a really great story. But it's Patino. Yeah, that's not happening. That's not happening. Yeah, I mean, Jerry, I love Jerry, but Jerry was here during the decline under Boeheim, and he was here in the first year of Red. Yeah, but it's not a tie right now. It's not a tie right now. And, is Red getting, like, some people, Red should be fired tonight. He should not be let on the bus to the airport. That's not happening. But, it's just bad. It's just bad. You can't lose this game. You can't lose this game. Should we do our Wild Birds on the Wild Birds is on the screen? Should we do our Wild Birds Unlimited Big Air player of the game? Why does it keep signing me out of why would I ever want to sign out of my bird camera? It's ridiculous. I should be perma-signed into my bird camera on my own freaking computer. Just asinine. It's getting darker outside already, though it's not pitch black after 5 o'clock, so that's nice. Let's do it. Or hang on, gotta hit some buttons. So many buttons. Do our Wild Birds Unlimited Big Air player of the game. Let's go to the backyard where it's not totally dark, but it is back covered in snow. So Wild Birds Unlimited Big Air player of the game. It's got to be Nate Kings, right? Got to be Nate Kings for the Orange. He had 27 points and was really, really good today. And in overtime, when Syracuse at least made some moves to regain contact, it was Kings that did that. He hit some big threes. It was realistically the best game that Nate Kings has played in a long time. Donnie Freeman was good today. Obviously had a double-double, but 7 turnovers. And there's nowhere else you even realistically could have looked. Yes, Ryan, I say the advantage of the Bird-Fi Metal Bird Feeder is it works where I think there's a light on it because I have specifically turned it on right now. A light also comes on if there is motion near it at night, I do believe, which is how it can capture anything resembling a video at night. So if a night bird shows up, This will be like, I see you, Nightbird. We'll put you there. So if like Nate Kings wandered in my backyard at night and sat on this bird feeder, because he's the Wild Birds Unlimited Big Air player of the game, the light would give him a lovely glow. So Nate Kings, I think for the first time, I think for the first time is our Wild Birds Unlimited Big Air player of the game. Squirrels, Super Cat. When I was telling the story a couple of days ago about my trampoline blowing across the backyard, I did go back and try to look through the darkness of night and see if I could find it on the camera, and I could not. I could not. But yeah, there we are. Our Wild Birds Unlimited Big Air player of the game. Yeah, I think Nate Kings could bring down the feeder. An owl would be cool. I think an owl would bring down the feeder as well. It's not a feeder for a large bird. We've had some nice bird sightings the last couple of days. We had the white-breasted nuthatch made a return. The red-bellied woodpecker made a return. So we had all that stuff going on. Nate Kings, our Wild Birds Unlimited Big Air player of the game. Link pin top of the chat if you'd like to join the post-game show. Let's give a look here, see if there's not going to be a live presser today, Gavendo, but maybe it will get posted, and we can find it. We're gonna we haven't seen any of the Pauls picking through my tray. Oh wait, here's the red. Oh, this was up a few minutes ago. We do have a red here. Hang on, coming. Red Autry, post-game press conference. Stand by for excitement. Red Autry post-game press conference is coming shortly. Here we go. Let's get Red.
Especially down the stretch in the second half. I thought they won the margins. They got the loose balls. They got the extra shots. They fought harder than us, which, I don't like to say that, but that's just the facts. I thought we let our offense impact our defense. They scored 81 points. We haven't given that up on the road in a while. But our level wasn't there. Our attention to detail was not there. We didn't finish the game the way we needed to finish the game. It's going to be close games like this all year, and we have to be able to come through and get those done and finish those. And we didn't do the job tonight. Unfortunately, we didn't do the job tonight. We've been in some. We've come out on the other end. Tonight, we did not come out on the other end, but I'm going to give credit to Boston College. They made the toughness plays. They made the plays that they needed to make to win the game, and we didn't.
I will not give credit to Boston College.
Two guys have 14 turnovers. I'm getting 8
Donna.
together. How big did that impact the game today?
That's the game. Those two guys, handle the ball the most. You can't win and beat anybody with 18 turnovers, right? Like 18 turnovers and the turnovers that led to points. And I thought that was the difference. The turnovers that we had, we just can't make those. We're better than that. We have to we got to take care of the ball. 18 turnovers is insane, right? Like you can't do it. Can't do it. And they were live ball turnovers. So we got to work on that and get better at that.
Nate George, 2 assists, 7 turnovers, starting point guard.
At least for his last 4 games. Just what is it about his game that you think is kind of
I think it's a concerted effort. I think a lot of it is, we want to try to move the ball and get the ball back into his hands, and different guys touch it, and other guys are responsible for getting open. Right? We didn't get open at the end. We stood. We kind of, it was difficult for us to get into some type of rhythm. And we have to be able to do that. And we didn't do a good job of that. They denied us, and we talked about that coming out. They cannot, stop us from where we want to move the ball to, and they did that. We didn't work hard enough. So some of that is his teammates working hard enough, and some of it is he has to make better decisions.
It seemed like when you started to make your early lineup changes, things went flat. Can you talk about the early moments of the middle of the first half there when you had to put some subs in and you didn't get anything from them?
Yeah, I mean, that was, we started off and we made the subs, and again, we stalled, but that happens in a game. We got to defend and we got to keep fighting, and I thought they did that in the first half. I didn't think that was the issue. Again, no one can play 40 minutes the way we're trying to play. So, and this team is good. And this team is going to be good, and it is good because of our depth. And I'm not going to stop playing guys All right, we just got to do a better job. We got to get better at what we're doing. All right. Again, sometimes that happens. That it just happens. That they made. That happens. But we got to do a better job of trying to make that not happen with our defense. And I just think our defensive focus is not where it needs to be, and it hasn't been in the last probably 2 or 3 games.
Coach, you're now 2-2 in quad 3 games. Just how frustrating is that?
I think it's frustrating. Again, I know everyone is caught up in quad 1, quad 2. I'm caught up in wins and losses and how my team is playing and how we get better. So, again, it's very frustrating to lose a game, right? It's in quad 2, quad 3. We lost the game. We're in conference play right now. And, if anyone, you follow this conference, Boston College, they've been playing well. They just didn't finish some of the games at the end. They've been in games like this. And today we allowed them to get back in the game and to finish the game. We didn't do what we were supposed to do. But it's very frustrating to lose any game, whether it's a quad 10 game or 4 game or whatever it is. I don't like losing. Losing is not fun.
No losing in quad 10, level 5. Right. This question, Mike, is bonkers.
City from both teams.
It was a hard play game. I just think, we didn't do what we were supposed to. So that's the frustrating part. Again, I give credit to Boston College. They fought, and they got after it. And again, not to say that our guys didn't, but it's certain plays, certain times where you got to come up with it, right? We get a miss, we got to get the rebound. They get the rebound and score. And that's how it typically happens. I just thought they out-hustled us, especially late in the game.
Bayhigh would be destroying his team after this game. You can tell Red wants to, just doesn't do it.
Contributions isn't always about offense, but what do you want to see from your bench guys?
I wanted them to come in with the same intensity, sharing the basketball, moving the basketball on the offensive end, defending and rebounding, what I expect from my starters, because any of these guys could possibly start on this team. So we treat them like starters. So the expectation is for every player to play at a level 5 defensively, communicate defensively, look out for each other, help each other, play together, share the basketball. No different than what I asked, the 5 guys that begin the game.
Is it possible they all have the flu again?
Is it about this coaching staff and this team that you think can help us win behind me?
We have to. What are you going to do? You have to, right? And we got a lot of great opportunities, right? And that's the thing that I told our guys in there, we're disappointed in this loss, but this season, it's a lot of season left. And we have a lot of great opportunities ahead of us, right? And the one thing I do know is at the end of the season, the only way you can try to do what you want to do is win games, right? And this year, we're very fortunate that our conference is very strong, all right? And so we got a chance to go out and win some games.
What gives you confidence that your team can go out and win those big games?
Because we've won more than we've lost. I believe in this group. We've had some big games. We've competed against teams of in bigger conferences. So I got nothing but belief in this team. All right, and like I told these guys, it's a whole season, and sometimes we don't always play well, right? How do we scrape out those wins? And we scraped out a couple. All right, today we fell short. All right, talent isn't enough, right? Talent is enough, and then sometimes you just don't learn when you're winning. We're dealing with young men, 21, 22. Again. It's not, you don't want to lose games, but we got to wake up and get back to how we were playing defensively, and I'm confident that if we do that, we'll be fine.
They will not be fine.
Fred Payne played almost every single minute for BC at 26 points. What made him so hard to stop?
Obviously he made 4 threes, but he's a relentless guy. They moved, and I thought they did a really good job of getting him the ball once he caught rhythm and caught fire. They got him the ball in the right spots, and and he made the plays.
Got time for one more.
Coach, Nate King's 27 today. He was, despite the loss, phenomenal. Can you talk about his performance?
Nate, he's an everyday guy. We get a lot of questions on, is he this, is he that, this, that, again, Nate's an everyday guy, and like I told people before, I don't worry about Nate Kings. He puts the work in, he's a grinder, he's a throwback, he gives you 100% every time he steps up on the court, and he's one of the better shooters in the country. I thought today, people got a chance to see that, but, I don't worry about Nate. I worry about this team. And we all have to get to that level 5 intensity, and we all got to get on the same page clicking, and we've done it. Again, I'm not going to say all is lost because we dropped one today, but we just got to be a little bit more consistent. I've said it the last 2 games that our defense and our focus wasn't where it needed to be. And, and I've been, talking to the team about that. And, so we got to continue to push forward and get that back.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Red. There he goes. Goodbye, Red. Oh man, just not what you're looking for today. Not what you're looking for today. It's just I am worried about Nate. The other Nate George was god awful today. Just absolutely awful today. Yeah, meaningful games in February. Meaningful. Yeah, is BC living in the future there? Because the thing I want to fire after that is fire their question mic. Because yikes, that question mic was bad. Give me a good question mic. Now I'm pro question mic, but let's have a good question mic. That's that's like mid-level question mic money. That was something. Well, we gotta have something to complain about, Michael Antonio. Oh man. All right, still time for a call if you'd like. Link pinned top of the chat if you'd like to join. If not, we're getting kind of close to the end of it today, because what can you say that hasn't already been said after this one? What can you say that hasn't already been said? Because, like, to Red's point, Red's point there is technically true. There are a lot more opportunities remaining this year than there would have been in the last few years in the league based on what the league currently is. That is true. But do you really think that Syracuse is going to take advantage of them? If you don't believe in the team, don't watch the games. That's not how sports works, Joe. We'll watch the games. Yeah, there's plenty of opportunities, but I don't expect Syracuse to win enough of the opportunities. Yet I will watch all of the games. Thank you for the donation, though, Joe. If you'd like to do what Joe did and make your chat pop, the dollar sign next to the chat box will give you those options. We'll also give you the option to become a member of the channel, which turns your name excitingly green, because I still keep forgetting to look to see if it can turn your name a different color, like orange, which at some point I'll remember to do. Like, I remember now, but I'm not going to do anything about it right now. And then the show ends and I got stuff to do, production stuff. And then by the time I'm done with that, I'm not going to remember we had this conversation. Will I remember tomorrow, though, or perhaps on Monday? There's another question. Yeah, like, if you can't beat BC, and the thing was, this wasn't, if you had lost today on some kind of fluke, or if you had lost today because BC played out of their ever-loving minds and made every single shot, it's just like, that's not what happened. I tried to watch all the Giants games, but the local Fox affiliate, whoever makes those decisions, didn't believe enough in the Giants to even give me the opportunity to watch all the freaking Giants games this year. I was prepared to watch this crap team, and instead I'm stuck watching a different team that gives me this. Go John Harbaugh. Yeah. The fan base is very whiny. Yeah, I don't know. Is this fan base more whiny than others? I don't know. Is there yeah, we'll do a live in the 315 on Monday, T-Takes. It's the holiday, but I can make it down to the basement for an hour. What will we do on the show? I don't know. We'll probably bitch about this some more. But yeah, I was safe, but I would have done it, Matt NY. I was prepared. I was prepared to put myself through the terribleness. I was prepared. Eggs and toast for supper? Well, yeah, why not? Eggs are always delicious at whatever the hour. But yeah, we'll do a live in the 315 on Monday. Schedule for the upcoming week before we let you go. We'll go live in the 315 on Monday. We will also note our newest sponsor, The Most, at the bottom of the screen. Still working on some stuff. The Most has given us some passes and whatnot. We're gonna do some kind of monthly member giveaway thing, early planning stages, but The Most will be involved. Got some other irons in the fire that potentially we can get involved for that as well. Again, the schedule, live in the 315 Monday, 11 a.m. Wednesday, Syracuse is playing Virginia Tech at 9 o'clock at night. Post-game show after. We'll be here. We're not thrilled about it, but we will be here. Thursday, 2 shows on Thursday. We'll be live in the 315 at 11 on Thursday. Then Jordan and I, TPS report Thursday night at 8 o'clock. Will I use the elevator? Yeah, we're gonna. It's I'm gonna get actually carried. Like a monarch of old. I will be hoisted up and then delivered down the stairs. That is how we are going to do that. So that's enough, I'd say, for today. I think we've hit every point. We've had Mike with a bag over his head, didn't light his head on fire, which is good, and we've had Syracuse lose to Boston College in a game that they absolutely could not lose. Yeah, we're trending. We're trending, Super Cat. Yeah, we're trending better than red, maybe. Yeah, I mean, like, to your point, Matt NY, this is another reason why today's loss is so crap. All right, tough to win on the road, right? The whole building was Syracuse fans. Like, a Boston College basketball fans, they don't exist. The whole building was Syracuse fans. And you still lose the game. Still lose the games. Yeah, no Anthony today. Wellness check? I don't know. All right, with that, we will bring this to a close. We'll see you on Monday morning at 11. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'm going to go watch the Bills, see what they're up to. Good night, y'all. Thanks for hanging out.
Thanks for watching the 315 with Brian Higgins. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn your notifications on. We'll see you next time.